It's syncopated, it's a mouthful, it's bad. Today we're drinking Off-Tempo DIPA 2. Hi guys, it's Jim here from drtankenstein.com with another episode of Beers of the British Isles. On today's episode, we're drinking Off-Tempo Double IPA number 2 from Bad Brewing and Distilling Company. This was about £2.50 from Morrison's, I believe. 7.4%, so it's a real big boy. It's a real double IPA. Like I said, it's from Bad Brewing and Distilling Company. It's their off-tempo range, I guess. I don't really know what that means. I think the off-tempo is kind of like the more sort of crafty range. I mean, this certainly looks the part in the can, so I think that's what they're going for here. They keep their hands close to the chest in terms of IBUs. I haven't been able to find any IBU information on this, but it's a double IPA, so I imagine the IBUs are gonna be quite high. I imagine it's gonna be quite bitter. So double IPA is like an IPA, but a bit more so, I guess. So a little bit stronger, a little bit more bitter, a lot more hoppy. So no IBU information. The hops they use in this are Summit, Columbus, and Centennial. So kind of a, quite a big punch there, depending on how they've used them. So what I'm imagining here is a real kind of big citrus, just a big citrus bomb coming through in this. Kind of piney, I guess, as well, but a big citrus bomb. The malt bill for this is kind of just as you would expect. Pale malt, bit of caramel malt. And this being a double IPA, they have put a little bit of sugar in there. So putting the sugar in there adds alcohol, but it doesn't add any body. So the thing with these double IPAs, as I've said before, is they can start to get a little bit chewy and a little bit sickly sweet at the high alcohol range. So what brewers do is they use sugar as a part of the grist so that they can add alcohol without adding any body. So you don't get that kind of real thick double IPA. Instead, it's nice and refreshing and hopefully quite crisp. So like I said, what I'm imagining from this, nice bitter beer, hopefully nice and fruity, because it's a double IPA after all, and we know it's very boozy. So wish me luck, I'm going in. We're in the glass, got a nice cold beer in our glass. First thing I'll say that I noticed, as soon as you crack the can, you can smell this thing. Really, really aromatic. I'm not going to comment on it until I actually smell it, but yeah, the hops are jumping out of this beer. Appearance-wise, it's quite nice. It is quite clear. Like I said, the glass is kind of frosting over. It's quite clear. I was imagining a much hazier beer than this, if I'm honest. The way things are going with beers these days, everything just seems to be hazy, but nice and clear. A good kind of it's like a dark gold color, I guess, if you can appreciate that. Head retention's quite good as well. They have put that caramel in there. I know there's a conjecture of whether that helps head retention or not, but that is in there. The sugar is obviously detracted from the body, but the head was quite good when I poured it. Like I said, my glasses aren't designed for head. Let's give it a sniff. Yeah, okay, cool. So it is quite grassy aroma, if I'm honest, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm almost getting a little bit of peach in there, just a touch of peach, and like sweet orange as well. So yeah, kind of grassy, peach notes, sweet orange. Yes, okay. You can definitely tell it's boozy, but it's surprisingly sweet. I don't know if that's because it's under-bittered or whether alcohol kind of has this tendency to make things appear a little bit sweeter, I guess, in my mind anyway. So I think that's what's going on rather than under-bittered. Yeah. And that hop character, like I say, quite orangey. You're not getting as much peach in the mouth as you are in the nose, but very orangey. A hint of grapefruit, but quite sweet. And it is actually the bitterness kind of hits you after that initial sort of boozy punch, I guess. It's the brewery that makes this beer, the Bad Brewing and Distilling Company. I've seen beers of theirs around before. Like I say, I think Off-Tempo is their kind of crafty range. Like you say, it's kind of a nice big 440ml can. This kind of cool sort of just a plain silver can with a sticker on it that is kind of like very crafty, I guess, looking. First thing I'll say about Bad Brewing and Distilling Company is that if you go on their website, it'll say distilling coming soon. So, I mean, they've been around for a little while. I don't know why they didn't just call themselves Bad Brewing Company. I'm not sure if that's changed and they haven't updated the website or whatever, but it kind of seems like one of those where they thought of the punchline before they thought of the joke. So Bad Brewing and Distilling sounds awesome. Maybe we'll distill something one day. I don't know. The brand though, the Bad brand, is clearly very important to them. If you go on their website, they have very, not grandiose, very strong ideas of what their brand is. You know, it's bad goes well with food, bad is beer, bad goes well with music and all that stuff. They seem like they're trying to build this brand. So maybe the Off-Tempo thing is part of that idea for them. They generally, I don't think they're a brewery that has kind of a tap room. I don't think they're kind of a destination brewery. From what I gather, they largely distribute through supermarkets, restaurants, wholesalers, that kind of thing. Which doesn't, it just means that you can't go visit them. It doesn't make them any less of a brewery. Okay, so how am I going to sum this up? How am I going to sum up DIPA 2 by Bad Brewing Company? By the way, I didn't buy this that long ago, but I think that they're already on DIPA 3, Off-Tempo DIPA 3. I don't know, maybe they're bringing them both out at the same time. I always wonder when they do that, when they have a 2 and a 3, what the motives are behind that. I mean, spoiler alert, I think this is quite a good beer, so why they would change it to 3 is a bit of a mystery, but that's what they've done. So like I say, very aromatic. You can smell the beer before you've even poured the beer. As soon as you crack it open, you hit with that, you hit with the grassy notes of the hop aroma. Smell is very sweet orange smell. Like I say, notes of peach, largely quite a grassy aroma though. The taste is very sweet. Like I said, they put sugar in there, which it hasn't thinned it out too much. The mouthfeel is quite nice, but overall, I'm getting it's kind of very sweet, but in a sort of reassuring way. I think it's sweet so that you know that it's boozy sort of thing. The bitterness does follow at the end there. It's kind of that bitterness which is sort of quite clingy, if that makes sense. It's sort of like it really kind of lingers at the back of your throat for a little while. So that's the kind of bitterness we're talking about. So the colour is great. I think it's a very attractive beer. The body and the head are quite good. They haven't thinned it out too much with the sugar, like I said. Aroma, very strong, grassy, peach, orange. The flavour, you continue with that orange character with like a touch of grapefruit. It's quite sweet, but like I say, in a good way. In a beer that's, you know, 7.4%, in a double IPA like this, you can't really hide from that sweetness. So it is kind of best to sort of embrace it and show it off with the booze, which is also definitely there. I mean, I'm getting a bit rosy cheeked with this one now. So all in all, I think that's quite a good beer. I'm not gonna rate it out of 10, but what I will say is, if this beer were a song, it's obviously Bad by Michael Jackson. Everything about this is bad, you know, in a good way. So yeah, this beer will be Bad by Michael Jackson. Bad's an awesome song. This is a good beer. Kind of cool, kind of off tempo, you know, offbeat, certainly off the wall. So that's it. Head down to Morrison's and get yourself an Off-Tempo DIPA 2 if you can. Maybe you're on DIPA 3 right now, but I'm sure that'll be very good too. And if you like it, grab the can, take it down to your local craft beer shop and let them know that you want something very similar. There's so many beers out there that tick these boxes that you're gonna absolutely love. In the meantime, guys, cheers.